If you caught the very first episode of this podcast, you may remember Rumi taking us over to Suzaku Garden. Well, today I'm stepping just outside those garden walls and into the rest of Umekōji Park, which Suzaku Garden sits within. I'm really drawn to this place. It's got a lovely mixture of green lawns, blossoming trees in early spring, happy families visiting the aquarium, dogs all over the place, and the constant flow of trains passing close by. Doesn't have the zen stillness of a mossy temple or a quiet shrine. It's far too busy for such ideas. I'm here with Charles. He's lived in Kyoto for a little while now, and we're here with his dog Lily, just watching the trains, shuttle commuters pass together.
It's really nice right in the morning when it's almost dead quiet, where there's practically no one around, and I'm here at 6 in the morning with Lily, and you hear ravens and you hear the clack-clack of the commuter trains. Sun's just about to rise, and it's a real peaceful park in the morning.
I like that phrase he used, the clack-clack of the commuter trains. I get the feeling that most people try to tune that kind of thing out. Noise-cancelling headphones tend to win the war against the sounds of the city, don't they? But Charles notices it. There's a musical rhythm to those local trains he told me about. It's also a community sound that tells you the city is awake and already going about their business at 6 a.m. Charles pointed out something I'd not really given much thought to about before. He told me that the Shinkansen tracks are made in a way that's different from regular train tracks. Here he is talking about that.
The Shinkansen, pretty much since it debuted in the late 60s, has had 0 fatalities, despite the fact that it goes crazy fast.
300
kilometers per hour. And one of the reasons is that the tracks are fused together, unlike, I guess maybe British rail or American rails. You hear those ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Those are the seams between the track rails.
It's an interesting contrast to stand there and listen to. On one side, you have these clunky local trains that sound like they've been running since the 70s. They're loud and very much visible. Then, right alongside them, you have the Shinkansen, this incredibly fast, modern and shiny machine. Kyoto, and Japan in general, is a bit like that, I guess. There's the high-tech, clinical layer that keeps everything moving, but then there's the older, noisier, more human stuff underneath. I've always felt that the human stuff is far more interesting to listen to. We started talking about Kyoto Station itself, just a few minutes walk from Umekōji Park. It's a labyrinth that most people are trying to find their way around. It's huge, it's confusing, and full of people looking for the right exit. I still get lost myself when I'm in there. But Charles sees it as a bit of a village and enjoys spending time there. I asked him why he liked the station so much.
I think it's the most wonderful train station ever. When you think about why Japan is so photographic, it's because Japan has this juxtaposition of very traditional architecture and very modern architecture. And modern in every sense of, you have architecture from the 60s and 80s and early 2000s represented all over Japan. So you have Kyoto, which is known for very ancient buildings, temples and castles and whatnot. But then you have this super modern looking, almost science fiction-y train station. I think everyone has that moment of how does this feel so large when you first enter that lobby? You can get married there, you can have a bite to eat, you can drink there. There are performances, there's hotels. It's pretty much everything is just in that one building complex. I always encourage people to spend more time than they expect to there because there's all these little third places that are really neat. I don't know if you've ever gone up the stairs or the giant set of escalators. And then the top, there's no retail space. It's essentially almost an urban park to itself. It's this wonderful third space where you get a beautiful view of the city and no one's trying to sell you anything. You know, kids go there to hang out, teenagers go out, find some place for themselves. And it's really cool.
I've always been drawn to those kinds of places, third spaces, somewhere that you can just be without anyone trying to sell you something or move you along. In London, it was the Barbican Centre, which is a place that I miss dearly. I'd go there to hang out with friends, read, work, or just wander around in the warm when it got a bit too cold on the boat in winter. Umekōji Park is a bit of a third space too, I suppose. It's where families come on a Sunday. It's where people walk their dogs and train spotters sit with their cameras poised at the ready. It's obviously very easy to be a tourist in Kyoto, moving from one famous site to the next. But when you sit on a bench and listen to the trains on the tracks, you're truly being present in this city. You start to notice the layers, the way that each train has its unique voice. And that was the voice of the ever so charmingly named Shinkansen, which is an old streetcar that still runs in the park. One of the reasons I make this podcast is that I'm just looking, or should I say listening, for those small moments of observation. If you're in town and the crowds are all starting to feel a bit much, I really do recommend heading to Umekōji Park. Find a bench, put your phone away, just listen for that clack-clack that Charles was talking about. It helps you to really experience a city like Kyoto. Thanks to Charles for the chat and to Lily the dog for the company. If you'd like to find some of these quieter corners with me, I lead small sound walks through Kyoto. We use professional microphones to help you tune into the things that most people walk right past. You can find everything over at kyotoinsound.com. And until next time, thank you for noticing with me.